Hello, greetings and salutations, friends. Hi, I'm Jess. If you've never seen me before, welcome. This reading is a continuation of our look ahead at the first quarter of this year of 2026, and this is going to be for our Libra placements. So, if your Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, Venus are in Libra, if you have significant planets in Libra, even if they're not any of those, or if you have 3 or more placements in your 7th house, nailed it on the first try today, then this reading could be for you. I'm one of these people. I'm one of us. I have 5 Libra placements. My Venus is in Libra, so Venus is how we love and want to be loved. Also, my Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, and Black Moon Lilith are all in Libra, so I'm hoping the universe is gentle with us. I'm a little nervous about the next 3 readings because basically all of my placements are in Scorpio, Libra, and Sagittarius, so I have to say, overwhelmingly, the news has been good for the readings, the most part, so I love this. I don't even think anybody's gotten, everything's either been like really overwhelmingly positive or tempered, like middle ground. Anyways, where was I? This reading could be for you. Only you'll know. It will feel resonant to you in some way. It'll make sense. If it doesn't make sense for you, then this might not be your reading. In fact, if it doesn't hit for you a few minutes in, it probably isn't. But you could just be drawn to me as a reader, so you might want to check your other placements, or you could check previous readings. I have quite a few on my page, so you can see if any of those call you. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through my website, which is sealedinthestars.com. I have a variety of options there, starting as low as $22, and 22 cents, to be fair. I try to have options available for as many budgets as possible. Okay, we are going to take a look at the overall energy for the first 3 months of 2026. Then specifically each of those 3 months. Then we'll take a look at what's the best use of your focus and your energy right now, like what's the most aligned use of where you could focus your time. And then we will look at some good news headed your way and some potential challenges to be on the lookout for. And then we will finish off with, we're going to pull 1 card from the Green Witches Oracle deck. This one. We'll pull one of those to end the reading. I've been using the same 2 Oracle decks for all of the readings. That one at the end. And this is the Universe Has Your Back Oracle deck. We'll be using this one, and pardon me, I've been using a different tarot deck for each of the signs, and for Libras we're going to use the Modern Witch Tarot. The tarot will talk about the overall energy of that time period, like what to expect, and then the Oracle card is going to be how to best approach that, like what's the best attitude to have, what's the best alignment for you to be able to navigate those energies as smoothly as possible. The Universe Has Your Back Oracle deck has been very interesting. We have a Stalker card in there that's come out in, I don't think we got it last night. So in 9 of 11, I think in 9 of 11 of the readings I've done so far, because I've had to redo 2 of them, we've had the same card come out. So I'm really curious. We'll see if it comes out here or not. But chances are, if you check your other placements, it's going to be one of those. Okay. Any other intro stuff? I think that's it. I think that's good. We're going to dive in. I do always shuffle my decks really thoroughly and cleanse them before I start recording, so just because you only see me do a shuffle or 2 here, it doesn't mean thoroughly mixed they are. All right. Wee. I'm going to pull all these cards upside down, and then we will go over them all together. All right, so nope, that's, hang on, I didn't even ask yet. My goodness. All right, let's do one card for the overall energy for the next 3 months. Thank you. And then one card for January. One for February. Oh, that's too many. Okay, that's still too many. At least they landed face down, so I still have no idea. All right, one for March, please. Right, yeah, okay. And then I'm going to do the exact same with the Oracle deck. One for the overall energy, please. Okay. One for January. Thank you. One for February. And one for March. That's two. Thank you. Whee! Change. Bonus fun explaining this in all half the videos. Changed the wheels on my office chair, and they're great because they move really well, whereas the previous ones were getting stuck on the floorboards. But my house is old, my office is on the 2nd floor, and there is a significant tilt to the floor. So I've rolled out of frame a couple of times, but say lovey. All right, let's see Libra's overall energy for these first 3 months of 2026. Woof. 7 of Swords, oh no. It's okay, don't panic. There's no bad cards. All right, let me marinate on this for a second. Actually, let's pull out our favorite book. It's my favorite book. Big Book of Tarot Meetings by Sam Magdaleno. It's fantastic. People, don't be afraid to use the book, okay? It does not invalidate your authenticity, your knowledge, your skill as a reader if you use the tools available to you in order to give the point is to give the best and correct messages that Spirit wants to convey. So if I find myself in a moment of being like, oh shit, what do they mean by that? I reach for the book because then they will point out to me what they mean by that. So let me take a peek. Aha, see, exactly. See, there are so many layered meanings to the cards, which is one of the things that I love. And it's also one of the reasons why readings are so specific depending on like the reader they come through, because there are different meanings for the cards, and it's dependent on the person who's channeling the energy to be able to give you what that is. So 7 of Swords kind of gets a bum rep, and if you're not familiar with it, I will tell you that. So first off, you can see how the figure is there just one? Okay. Yeah, in the traditional depiction of this card, there's two, no, that's the 5 of Swords. There's some people like in the background. Anyways, this person kind of looks like, depending on your view of it, they could look like they're running away from something. They could look like they're getting away with something. Like they have a pretty happy look on their face. And some of the associations with this card that come up the most, because some people lean into the fear-based stuff. We don't do that here. But manipulation, deceit, like getting away with things, like those are some of the associations with this card. However, other associations with this card are resourcefulness, planning and strategy, risk-taking. And that's really what they're like drawing my eye to, and that's what they're giving me all my little signs for. Yeah, so we're in a time, these couple of months, we're in a time of planning. Time of planning, of resourcefulness, of figuring things out, and also being asked to, it's kind of like the best way to take a risk. So this is sort of in the risk assessment phase while getting ready to branch out and to take new steps and to start something new, which is going to happen in the spring when the equinox comes. Let's see though, what is the advice for us on how to best navigate this energy? I haven't seen this card yet. Yay. I like that I use this deck a lot, and I still haven't seen probably at least half of the cards come out in a reading at least. So I like that we're getting a new one. Okay, this says, I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. So how can this message and this card serve us in terms of the next couple of months? Well, as you run into, so being resourceful and planning, part of the, hang on, too many messages at once. I missed something earlier and they want me to point it out now. Resourcefulness. Let's start here. Because we are in a hard section of the year, it's winter at least in the northern hemisphere. For a lot of people, this can be a very challenging time financially, right after the holidays, and in a slow season. I'm in the food and beverage industry. This quarter is traditionally a very slow one for our industry, and so just based on personal experience, I have had to be very resourceful in the winters to take care of my bills and to feed my family. And so if you are finding yourself in circumstances that are either requiring you to reach for a level of resourcefulness, or to, you're having to strategize in a way that you haven't had to before, then it's good to remember, sorry, I just wanted to make sure that we're going in the right spot with that. It's just really helpful to remember that you are a spirit having a human experience, that you can't get it wrong. You really can't. We're just here to kind of fuck around and find out, and then we'll go back to the non-physical plane, and maybe you'll come back and try again. So don't let the challenges of the material world bog you down. Keep in mind that you're a spirit. You're here to love and be loved and to reach for love, because that will help pull you out of any, it just helps to align you with a more positive energy instead of wallowing. Wallowing doesn't help anybody. Okay, let's be a little more specific. Let's talk about January. Okay. Card we have, overall energy for January, is the moon. The moon talks about our subconscious, our shadows, what's underneath, and often can come out in a reading when we are doing some digging, some self-work, some seeking. Yeah, they like that. Okay. It's like you're, okay. La 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 la. Sorry, Libras, they're a little scattered here today, but where were we? Digging. The dark months of the year, these winter months, can be a really great time to be introspective, to go inwards, to figure out what it is that's no longer working for you, what you want to leave behind in last year, whether you're taking the turn of the year at January 1st, or if you follow more nature's calendar in the spring. Either way, this is a really good time to examine what you want to take with you moving forward into this year. And you're being given that opportunity, especially right now. I just love how they're like, they're like, all the challenging things, these are just opportunities for us. These are opportunities for us to grow. And they are. And ultimately, once you're on the other side of some of this stuff and you have the hindsight, you're going to feel really great about it. You're going to be so happy you put this work into yourself. You're going to be so at peace and operating from a better, more aligned kind of baseline. But the work itself is not generally very pleasant. So hang in there. They're going to be giving us some opportunities to look at some of our shadows, to look at some of the things that are operating in our background, in our subconscious, and to navigate whether we want to carry those forward or not. Okay, so best energy for us, best way for us to approach the energy of January. Put that down. Okay. Okay, it's not the stalker card, but it is sort of related. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. I also have not seen this card yet. I like we're getting cards I haven't seen yet. Pardon me. And almost better. I've been sick for a month, but I'm still not fully there. Okay, so this is actually, I think this is very helpful because this is, I don't want to put it on us and be like, well, clearly this is a challenging time for us, because I don't get that feeling at all. But it is a contemplative time. It is a time when we're active in work that is challenging. And so when you are going through whatever this stuff is that comes up for you, and it's going to be different for everybody. That's why they're kind of generic, and some of these, like the specifics of these things, are going to be different for each of you. For somebody, it might be something, somebody from your past triggers something. For some others of you, it could be a current relationship or job dynamic that brings up stuff for you to heal. It's going to be different for everybody. But as you're moving through these moments and digging through that stuff can tend to knock us off our yes, that is timely, thank you. Can tend to knock us off our balance. They're very funny. They're like, balance, get it, Libra? In those moments, surrendering to love, and I like how they say it, through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. Because, for some people aren't comfortable with the word prayer, so you could contemplate, you could sit in stillness, you could meditate, you can connect to the universe, however it works for you to bring yourself back to that energy of being love. Because that's why you're here. You're here to get closer to love. All right, let's talk February. Starting to understand why they sent us the Seven of Swords. Some stuff's going to come up. We're going to have to dig through. We're going to have to navigate that. And then in February, Nine of Wands. I know, that poor person, look at them. They're just going through it. Okay, so Nine of Wands. It's a card of doing too much, of taking on too much, of carrying too much, they're almost like jailing themselves in with all of these wands, these sticks, these rods, all of these responsibilities that they've taken on. They're just doing too much, and as a result, they're feeling it. They're feeling the 9 and 10 of Wands carry a similar energy, except that the 10 is at the end of the cycle. So it's like, okay, now you can lay down your wands and move on. But you're not quite there yet. You're still over here collecting sticks adding to your pile, adding things on, and it's likely to feel like a lot. It's likely to have you feeling a little burnt out, a little overwhelmed. And so how should you handle that? Oh, great. This is also a new one. Yay. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. What you focus on expands. What you give your attention to grows. So if you are just looking at all of the things that are challenging for you and therefore attracting more challenges to you, the best thing to help shift you out of that mindset is to change your mind about the world you see. So instead of, what's a practical way to put that into, like, okay, but how do I actually do that? Instead of spending your day problem solving or looking at all of the things that are not working for you, looking at all of these wands that are just all around you, take some time to shift your focus into things that you're grateful for, things that are working well for you, anything that makes you smile or laugh or feel relief or lightens your load in any way. You just want to be able to move up the emotional scale into feeling better somehow, some way. We can't always go from where we feel straight into feeling joy, but we can move up a little bit. So, maybe if you're feeling resentful, maybe you can find some reason to feel neutral. Maybe you can find something that brings you a little bit of relief. If you're feeling sad or despair, actually moving into a place of irritation or anger, it's actually more positive for you. I'm not saying don't go down to anger, go up. But shaking up your energetic dynamic is what changes things for you. So if you find yourself in a rut, in a pattern where you are mostly giving your attention to things that are unpleasant, and because of that you're collecting more unpleasant things, do what you can to consciously shift your point of view. All right, how about March? Oh, please give us good news for March. Yay! Okay, I was getting a little nervous. Yay! Good news! Yay, March! Things refresh, things start anew, new beginnings in March, in the spring, which aligned, right? We're very aligned, Librans. Librans? I don't actually know the correct term for that. Okay. Ace of Cups. Yay. Aces are new beginnings, breakthroughs, new opportunities. And this is in the area of our emotional fulfillment. So this could be new relationships. This could be also, this suit represents our connection to the divine and our connection to our intuition. So it could be through all of this work that you've been doing, right? Like excavating all of the subconscious stuff and working through releasing the need to do too much and releasing just doing too much. because of the way that you move through January and February by doing those things, it allows you freed up space. It's kind of like deleting old programs or clearing the cache. You're now making space for new beginnings, and so new opportunities can flow to you. So this could be like, it could be a connection with a new person, platonically or romantically, or it could be just a new feeling of love for yourself. It could be a new connection to spirit. It could be feeling really cared for and loved by the divine. There's lots and lots and lots of opportunities there. So I love that for us. All right, and then how should we handle that. Not the stalker card, but close to it. Okay, we have, I surrender to a power greater than me. All right. The stalker card is, when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. So, best attitude for us to have while we are welcoming in these new starts, these new blessings, is to surrender to a power greater than us and trust that everything that is happening in this process is for our betterment and for our greater good. Great. Okay. Let's talk about some of the other stuff. What is the best use of our energy right now? Where should we focus? Okay, I'm gonna need more of that, please. Oh, okay, yeah, that does help, thank you. Thank you. Yay, okay, this is very positive. Here's the good news I'm waiting for. Okay, we have 8 of Wands, 8 of Cups, and Ace of Pentacles. 8s could be significant for you. You might have an association to the number 88, or you just might start seeing 8s everywhere, or it could be a confirmation for you when you see 8s that you are on the right track or in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing right then. Okay, in terms of how, oh, and we also have, yeah, I didn't say that, we also have the Page of Cups here in the shadow card. Okay, best use of our aligned energy is to focus on moving forward. To focus on moving forward in terms of being aligned with what's for us. The 8 of Cups, this is a card about leaving behind what no longer serves us. You see how the figure is walking away from the cups and they are moving toward the moon. The moon represents our intuition in tarot. So this person is leaving behind the things that are no longer aligned with this new version of themselves. Even though that's all they know, even though in those cups are the things that they care about and all the things that they love, because they know that these things are not aligned with the new version of themselves. And so you are in this process of leaving behind some things that are no longer aligned for you, the moon, right? Even in the overall energy of the 7 of Swords, kind of figuring out how to navigate this. This is the most important and beneficial use of your energy, is to really examine, to really make the most of this time, this introspective time, to examine and let go of what is no longer serving you, and to not wait. Don't wait. 8 of Wands is depends on who you ask, between this and the Chariot. They're the 2 fastest moving energies in the deck, and it's just really encouraging you, like, don't wait, get on this work, you're already doing it, don't hesitate. And then also, like, don't hesitate when you have gotten the intuitive hit to leave something behind. Don't talk yourself out of it. What is for you is meant for you, and let the other things fall away. And then it's great, we also have the Ace of Pentacles. Wait, did I show that? I think so. So, new beginnings. We have 2 aces here in the realms of emotional fulfillment, and Ace of Pentacles is material fulfillment. So Pentacles represents our resources, it is our finances, but not only that, it also represents our family, our structure, our feeling of stability. So this is great. So you're moving towards these new beginnings quickly. Like, you're on your path there, you're figuring it out along the way, and because you're doing that work, the universe is bringing you new, fresh starts in the areas of the things that you love. You're being asked to have a really open-minded perspective. The Page of Cups, oh yay, so cute. Okay, we'll get there. Page of Cups, look, she's got it's hard to tell. There's a fish in her cup. Can you see? There's a fish in her cup. How funny. But she's just very amused. The Page of Cups is a very open-minded energy. They have a very fresh perspective. They're very eager and optimistic to learn and to look at things from a new way. So you're being asked to approach this time period with having a fresh perspective. It's like they're saying, what's the word? Oh, that's funny. All right, we'll move on. They're not giving me the word. Can't remember it, but yeah, just be open-minded. Underneath the Page of Sun, we have the Page of Cups, we have the Sun. Yay! The Sun is the happiest card in the deck. It represents optimism. It's like things going right. Things working out is the Sun. Everything works out. Things are happy and joyful and positive. I love that. Don't be, they're like, don't be essentially like alarmed or afraid of doing this work. Don't avoid it, thank you. Don't avoid doing the digging into things right now, because that is what brings all the new beginnings. If you avoid doing the stuff, you're not going to get the new beginnings. You're just going to take another loop on the lessons you know but aren't listening to yet highway. And if you just want to get off of that, take the exit. All right, let's see what good stuff is coming our way during these 3 months. What kind of good stuff's coming our way? What do we have to look forward to? What do we have to look forward to? That one? Ooh, yay. All right, we have Knight of Wands. So, Knights are a energy of things in motion. So with this and the Eight of Wands, there's going to be a real feeling of actually making some progress, of actually moving forward, both internally and externally, because our external reflects the internal, right? So you're going to get a real feeling of feeling creative, passionate, of wanting to take action. Wands, excuse me, wands represent action. So that's a real kind of go-getter feeling. Also, for some people, there will be passion in the air, and you'll have that to look forward to. All right, and then what's something that we should be on the lookout for? Just something that could be a potential challenge, so that we can recognize it when it pops up. Potential challenges. Knight of Cups. So in terms of it being like a challenged position, we'll look at the shadow aspects of this card. So Knight of Cups in another context talks about following our heart, following our emotions, and can represent like an offer of love from somebody or an offer of connection. In terms of potential challenges, this could tell you to just be on the lookout for hang on, they're being very specific about this. Cautiously optimistic in new connections before you get emotionally invested. They're saying, but like focus on the cautious part. So that's very interesting. It's not coming through in terms of anything being like bad or malicious or concerning. In fact, in some of the other readings, we've gotten the Knight of Wands in this position, and in that, in terms of like potential challenges, the Knight of Wands would come through as, you know, a potential romantic partner that would be fleeting. But Knight of Cups in the sort of challenged position feels like, be mindful who you give your heart to. Just be cautious on who you give your heart to, is how that feels like that's coming through. So do some due diligence, spend some time with this person, and love on yourself first. Yeah, it just feels like, I was also asking in terms of like, well, non-romantic context, but it feels like the message really is about being cautious and conscious around your heart, who you're investing your emotions in, whether or not you are getting a return on investment or being met in an equal energy exchange with those connections. Okay. All right, great. Yeah, yeah, invest in yourself instead. 8 of Pentacles, which also, there's the third 8, 888. I knew, I almost said it. I almost said Ace of Pentacles almost sounds like 8 of Pentacles, and then we would have had 3 8s, and then they sent it anyway. Yeah, so the 8 of Pentacles is about investing in ourselves, investing in our future, and what we're working on. And so they're just saying, just be cautious about where you invest your heart energy, and focus instead on investing in yourself. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's it there. All right, and then we'll do one from the green, which is Oracle, to wrap it up. What's one last message for our Libra placements, please? Preserve, security, forethought, and thrift. Oh, his little chipmunk, he's really cute. My only complaint about this deck is that the cards aren't listed in either alphabetical order or numerical order. There's no rhyme or reason to the index, so it's annoying a little bit to look for them in a hurry. Okay. Otherwise, I love this deck. It's fantastic. But I'm autistic and persnickety, so. All right, preserve. Card meaning. In Green Witchcraft, preserving a harvest allows you to keep it longer, instead of losing it to decay or waste. It's a thrifty measure that enables you to rely on the fruits of your labor for an extended period of time. Another form of preserving is to put aside a little of what you use every time you use it. This helps to build a stockpile to guard against future need. This process is an ongoing, low-level investment that doesn't take much time or energy. The Preserve card reminds you that small gestures accumulate over time. Keep an eye out for areas where you can be thrifty with your time and energy. This doesn't mean you have to deprive yourself now. Enjoy your harvest, don't use it all at once simply because it's there. And then there's a reflection question. It says, how can you work to store and secure what you have successfully produced? I love that. Sweet. Okay. All right, friends, that is it for now. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave them in the commenty areas or message me if you have questions that I could help you with, or if you have any questions before you want to book. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.